Hello and welcome. I am Ollie Juno and this is my crafty corner. This is my channel that I basically 90% of the time talk about cross stitch. I do stitch with me's. Sometimes once I start doing more, I'll probably show project bags and thread drops and stuff like that as time goes by. Right now I don't do them very often. Now I just hit 350 subscribers. When I hit 400, I will do another giveaway, which will be more bags. I will make some more craft bags to give out for a giveaway. But I still have a bit to go before I hit 400. So let me go ahead and start. I'm already rambling. All right, so this is my Flosstube today. It is March the 23rd. Yes, today is March the 23rd. This is Flosstube number 40. I actually got a lot of stitching done this week. At least I feel like it's a lot. I actually have 5 different things, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've worked on 7 different things this week. I've stitched on at least one project every day of the week, if not 2 to 4 or more. I think there was one week I actually stitched 5 things. I don't remember, but I do have it wrote down. But I'm rambling, sorry. Okay, so I had a real good stitchy week this week. There was only 2 days where I only stitched on one project during work, and that was on Friday and Monday. And on Monday was my husband's birthday, and so I didn't really do much stitching because we were headed out. We went out to a birthday dinner. If anybody watched my stitch with me, I was stating that I was not a very good wife because I could not remember how old my husband was. I couldn't remember if he was turning 51 or 52. He turned 52. He's the only one out of the family that was born on an even year. Out of the 5 of us, everybody else is born on odd years. So sometimes when I'm trying to figure out his birthday, I get it wrong because I think he's an odd year. Because like I turned 39, so I'm on an odd number. He's on an even number. But after 20 years, it's just another year. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I'm rambling and I apologize. I'm also looking up here instead of down here, but I'm trying not to. So let us start. I do have a new start. I have a going to have to put away because it's in the wrong spot project. I will show that one. That'll be the last one that I show. But I'm going to show all my WIP progress this week, and hopefully I remember to give all the stats on the project that I'm working on. I know I normally give all the stitching I do on it, but I don't always remember to give the fabric count and the way I'm stitching it, because I do stitch differently and on different fabric counts. Okay, so we are going to start off with this one. This is Heaven and Earth design. It is a story keep. I had talked about it on my last Flosstube, I believe, saying that I wanted to get some stitching done in this because I'm at 50% on it and I need to get a little further on it. So that is the goal. So that is what it's going to look like once it's finished. I am stitching it on 28 count 1/1 full tent stitch. I got 200 stitches on it. I only stitched on it 2 days, but it's slowly coming along. Excuse me, sorry. So it's slowly coming along. I'm thinking if I can just put a couple hundred stitches in it a week, I'll be all right with it. It'll, you know, get done. Like I said, it's already at 50% complete, and I only started it in January. All right. My next one is going to be my Gecko Rouge pattern. It's the Dream Catcher. I stitched on it for 2 days this week. I'm stitching it on 25 count easy grid, 2/1 full cross, and I got 600 stitches into it this week. So I'm working here. I'm not really, like, I've been like pretty consistent on doing the diagonal squares, but I've kind of started just kind of branching out and just kind of stitching till I want to, you know, I stop. I'm not really staying in any particular pattern with or diagonal with this. It's just kind of stitching until I feel like stopping. So I'm like right here at the ear, and I'll probably work down here, but just kind of work over until I want to stop. So yeah, so I got 600 stitches into that behind me, and I did work on that 2 days this week. Let's see, my next project, oh, I have a little bit of haul to show as well. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. I've got my pandemic I pulled out. Stitching this on 28 count 1/1 full cross on its easy grid fabric. I got 400 stitches in on this. I only worked on this yesterday. I got some new frames in, so this is part of my stitchy haul. I got a new frame in so I can have this on a frame as well. So I've got more frames, scroll frames to put projects on that have been floating around. But I really needed to have this one and my Kitten and the Rose on a frame because I really like working on them, and I hate switching out between the two. So I got a scroll frame that was large enough to hold my pandemic on it. But yeah, I got 400 stitches on it yesterday. Sorry, I'm working. I like mainly this area right here and more of the line of crossed. So there's that one. And my next one is going to be my Kitten and the Rose HAED. That one, I love this. This was my first HAED I started last year. I started this in January of 2021. First time ever doing a full coverage and first time doing a HAED. And I have fallen in love with them. There's that one. I've worked on my Kitten and the Rose 4 days this week. I've gotten about 700 stitches in. I am doing this on 25 count 1/1 full cross. It is not on gridded fabric. this is what I'm doing. I finished the diagonal that I was working on. Basically what I did was over the weekend, this one, what I've been doing, since it doesn't have a whole lot of colors, there's only 19 colors in the whole pattern, and I may be working with like 4 or 5 per square, per 10 by 10 block. So I've been filling in all the little colors and then leaving the one extremely, it's the 37.99 color, DMC color. But I've been leaving it so that this is what I've been stitching on while I've been working, instead of my other little projects. I just haven't felt like stitching them, so this gives me something to stitch and not have to worry about, is my count off, you know, anything like that. It's just a nice, simple, easy stitch. So yeah, that's what I've been working on there. All right, so now it is time to show the one that I did the most stitching on this week. That is this one. These are my 2 dragons. I am stitching this on 28 count, 22 count, 1/1 full cross. I worked on this 4 days as well, but I got a total of 1,239 stitches on this. I have changed up the way I've been stitching this. I'm not stitching in the straight diagonal as I was. As you can see here, this was when I was doing the diagonal. Since then, I've decided, like, I started up and over here, and I've got, this is the entire wing done here. I still have stitching to do here, and this is where the white dragon's wing is coming up. So you really can't see very well, but I have been stitching in here as well. So I've really been enjoying stitching on this. I really enjoyed getting that wing together. I love that blue. I love the color blue, period. So being able to get that situated was really nice. I need to fix my string. It's hanging it loose, but we'll put that there. So yeah, that's the one I got the most project on. All right, so I'm gonna show my new start. I started this today. I will explain a little more on why I started this one today, because I normally only have about 3 small projects going at one time. So this one is the one I've started today. I'll look up so I can see my button. It is a pattern off Etsy. It is from Antique Stitch on Etsy. It is from Anastasia Alex. I decided to try to have the whole information for them in here. I'm gonna probably try to resave some of my other pictures, and that way I can give the author's information as well instead of just the links below, which I do post the links to where I purchase everything when I, you know, have it. I've got like 2 or 3 that I don't really know where the links are or how to get to the links. Like I had them saved and then they disappeared and I ain't been able to find them. But like I said, I just started this one today, so I just have a very little bitty bit going here. I am stitching this on 28 count, 2/110. I've tried that once before on 28 count. I wasn't too happy with it, but I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and give it a try again, because it's a gift, and I think the 1/1 on 28 count for who I want to give it to is just, I don't want the fabric to show through. So I think doing the 2/1 instead should be fine. And it's not a huge pattern, so I should be able to get through it. And this is another part of the haul. I got another frame. It came with 3 scroll bars, 3 different sizes, and 2 rod holders, I guess. So yeah. And I totally forgot my other thing. Was not a planned purchase at all. It was kind of a oopsie. It was in the cart. Because I had saved it to my cart because I was looking at it. And then when I got ready to purchase, I wasn't paying attention. So I ended up purchasing these. Can you see? They are tulip. It's kind of blurry, isn't it? They are the tulip tapestry needles. They're 25 round tip. I was curious about the 25 because everything I've researched are like they're a mix between 20, you know, the 24 and 26, and 26 is my go-to. And Tulip is the brand that I bought for my beading needles when I was making always working with jewelry, like seed beads, making the necklaces and the bracelets and stuff. Tulips were the brand that I was buying. So I was like, oh, Tulip makes cross stitch needles. Yeah, I might splurge on one of those. So I was putting it in my cart to put it into my save for later. I never moved it to the save for later. So I ended up buying needles. But I like them. Like, I've been using them in the last 2 days, and I don't know, I really like the needle, but the only needles I've used before that was DMC. So I still want to look into like the John James needles, and I want to look into the Bohan needles that everybody uses. I want to see what the difference is between them. Okay, so I have one more pattern that I was stitching on, but I will no longer be stitching on. I put 250 stitches in this. Would have had more, but so it's this one here. It was in a hoop. The biggest problem I have is when I started the pattern, I had my hoop backwards. So I was supposed to start this way. Like, this was going to be the back. The hoop was here. This was going to be the back. And instead, this is the back. So it is going this way instead of this way. So I can't really do anything with this. Not sure what to do with it at the moment. It's going into timeout. I decided, since this was technically my second start, because I had started this on 40 count and the thread's just too thick for me on 40 count, and I didn't like the way it looked, so I started it on 18 count. Now it's just going into the timeout box, and I will decide what to do later. Since I put this one away, that is the reason I started the other new start, the Rainbow Dog. That's the reason I started that one. because with that one gone, it took away all my little stitches. So I have the rainbow dog as a small stitch. I have this one as a small stitch. I do work on it. I don't work on it a lot. It's just mainly fill in. But I can only like do like 2 or 3 strands before I'm ready to switch to something else. And then my other one, I don't think I've really done anything on it since the last time I've showed it. I think I've gotten 1 triangle, but this is my other one. I worked on it so much when I first got it, I think I kind of wore myself out. So I haven't really wanted to work on it here recently, but I know I'll get back to it. I'm about 50% done with this because I just have the bottom half and the tail to do. So I think I have like a little more down here. So I've got about 50% done on this. So I will get back to that eventually. Because I want them done before the end. Sorry. I want them done before the end of the year. That is my goal, is to get a couple of small projects done before the end of the year, because my big ones are not going to be done this year. There's only a few of them where if I stitched on them monogamously, they would be done this year. But I'm not a I just said the word. I am not a monogamous stitcher. I get bored. I need to change up what I'm doing. I just don't, it's like I'll stitch on it for about 1 hour to 2 hours, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good. Let's switch to something new. What was it? Yesterday? Was it yesterday? What day was it? Yeah, yesterday I did 4 different projects yesterday. I did 4 different projects on Sunday. 5 different ones on Saturday. So I switch between 4 or 5 projects. I normally put, 200 to 300 stitches into each project before I go to the next one. So I think that's all I've got. I don't think I have any more information. I don't have any more projects to show. I showed my haul. I got the scroll frames and the needles. Eventually I hope to get some more fabric, because there are about 3 HAEDs that I want to start. But I have decided that I definitely think I'm going to stick with, for HAEDs, I think 25 count, the full crosses, more of my go-to. Now if it's something I want to get done real quick, I will do the 10 stitch. But I will do that on 32 count. So if I'm going to do 10 stitch, it's going to be 32 count. If I'm doing full cross, it's going to be 25 count. I am going to look into getting some actual dyed fabric eventually. Not right now. I don't have the funds to get the fabric, and I don't know. I want to do some research on looking up colored fabrics and stuff like that. And hopefully in the next couple of months, I'll be able to get a little bit of stock of colored fabric up, because I have a small stock of fabric, but it's for smaller projects. I only have 1 large piece of fabric right now, and it's 22 count hardanger, I think is how it's called. I don't know. But I do have that. But I don't really want to get into it yet. It's just kind of like, that's my safe spot. That's my, if I have to get into. So it's just kind of sitting over in my drawer, safely set away. All right, so I'm just rambling. I apologize. I am going to say goodbye, and I hope to see everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and I will be doing a Stitch with Me this weekend, and we'll go from there. Later, all. Have a great week, and happy stitching.